Coming up on Mountain News this morning, the people of Pike County prepare to pay a new fee to keep the county's emergency services running smoothly. And the CDC is sounding the alarm about a growing threat of a deadly fungus as cases spread, including right here in the Commonwealth.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, y'all. 6:01 here. It is Wednesday, and I'm Dakota Makris. Good morning. Let's head over to Brandon and see what he's doing this morning. And he's tracking some rain, it looks like.
Tracking a little bit of rain.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's been back and forth out there this morning. I made it to work before it actually got started. It was starting to sprinkle when I walked in the door.
Yep.
You said it was raining when you got up this morning. So, again, it's raining for a lot of folks right now. Let's take a look, see what's been going on the last few hours. And you've seen the progression of it moving into the region, mostly in the southern counties right now, but starting to get a little bit more into the northern counties, too. So, this could be back and forth throughout the daytime hours today. Downtown Whitesburg, a little bit on the soggy side this morning, so be careful as you're heading out the door. Temperatures across the region, more 40s and 50s at this point. 43 still the cold spot in Grundy. We've got 49 Manchester, 52 still in Irvin, 50 in Harlan, Hazard 2, 54 in Prestonsburg. They've rebounded just a little bit. 50 in Moorhead, 45 Jonesville and Wise and Williamsburg this morning. Look at the temperature difference from this time yesterday. It's how much of a difference even the chillier temperatures we are seeing from 24 hours ago. Nearly 20 degrees or better warmer than this time yesterday. Breakfast forecast, you're going to be seeing again some decent conditions out there with temperatures not bitter cold, but again, rain will cool us off a little bit more, getting into the mid to upper 40s by later this morning. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. A change to the Pike County 911 subscription fee was approved during a fiscal court meeting. Our Buddy Forbes explains the new fee and the conflict it brought to the court.
But is it worth it for my family if something happens to one of my kids or my wife to be able to pick the phone up and call 911? It's worth every penny of that.
The Pike County Fiscal Court voted to approve a new addition to the county's property taxes Tuesday.
Now 911 gets its funding from landline phone lines, which is becoming less and less and less. What we've done today is we just moved the subscription fee for the 911 system from landline phone lines to property tax bills.
With a $4 monthly 911 subscription fee to keep the department rolling and the county connected.
All that cost has went up over the years. It's slowly been creeping up over the years, but it seems like this year it's just like gas and everything else, it's jumped.
The fee will help cover the growing costs for the 911 department, like the recent increase in the amount owed to the Kentucky State Police for 911 dispatch services and the equipment required to keep communications up to date.
You know, it's a matter of life or death.
But not everyone was on board with the ordinance.
I just voted no on it to try to help the people of this county. You know, I'm a taxpayer just like everybody else. I don't like something else being added to me, and I don't want to add it to other people.
Its language allows the 911 department to increase the fee over time without court approval based on changes in the consumer price index.
I would rather them come back to us before they added the fee to let us at least have an input back in on it instead of this way. You know, they can set it themselves. We have no say in it now, so I tried.
But emergency officials say it is the best way to keep the community safe and avoid large rate increases.
Imagine if it was the child that was having to call 911 and there was no 911. So how's that child going to know to try to look up somebody's phone number to call? You wouldn't have that.
Making sure someone is always on the other side of the call. In Pike County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
Atkins originally planned to abstain from voting before ultimately voting no. The ordinance passed, including a retroactive clause to make sure those who have been paying the fee through their landline service will not be double billed. Well, over in Knott County, in their fiscal court meeting on Monday, Knott County Judge Executive Jeff Dobson said the county's ambulance provider, Lifeguard Ambulance Service, would be leaving the county in mid-June. Well, Knott County 911 Board Chair Bobby Thomas says county leaders are working to get multiple aid agreements with neighboring counties, but as of now, they estimate they will only have one ambulance unit to serve the county for the next few months.
We're going to do everything we can to see that we maintain the level of coverage that we've had in the past. Like I said, we are reaching out to some of the local counties to have them on standby to help us if the need be, and then we'll just try to work it out the best we can.
Well, Thomas says the cause for Lifeguard's departure may be due to funding issues. County leaders say they will be meeting today in hopes of finalizing solutions. Well, the CDC is sounding the alarm about a growing threat of a deadly fungus called Candida auris, if I said that correctly. Yesterday, the agency published research saying clinical cases are skyrocketing. Cases went from 53 in 2016 to almost 1,500 in 2021. Kentucky saw 0 cases in 2020, 7 in 2021, and at least 22 in 2022. One doctor from Baptist Health Lexington says the general public doesn't have to worry too much about the fungus, but it is problematic for a few reasons.
So it's mostly a problem in nursing homes and in patients who've been in the hospitals and, say, intensive care units for extensive period of time that have open wounds or IV catheters in.
The CDC recommends speaking with your healthcare provider if you believe you have any type of fungal or healthcare associated infection. Well, Governor Andy Beshear was in Letcher County yesterday dedicating the second house built partially by the Team Eastern Kentucky Flood Relief Fund. Our Keaton Hall has more with the family who was getting a new place to call home.
Jason and William Gross have been living in a travel trailer since July when they lost their home to the flood. On Tuesday, the governor helped dedicate the construction of their new home.
Yes, I thank God. I thank God.
Yes, I do. I'm excited to be in a new house.
This is the second home to be partially funded by Governor Beshear's Team Eastern Kentucky Flood Relief Fund.
So we're supposed to be there for one another, and that's exactly what all these groups and community members have come together and done. Nobody worried about credit. Everybody just worried about getting a home up that they can permanently move into.
The home is actually one of 3 in the neighborhood built by Homes Incorporated for flood victims.
It couldn't happen to 2 greater people. It's happening in a neighborhood that Homes is building that will have 3 or 4 families of flood survivors. They're already getting to know each other, so they'll move in already with neighbors that they know and that care about them.
Jason and Bill say they're excited to move from their travel trailer and into their new home, out of the floodplain.
Thank God for this is gonna happen for us. We getting a nice house.
The governor committed $1.2 million to the construction of homes like the Grosses. In Letcher County, Keaton Hall, WYMT Mountain News.
Other groups helping to get the family into their new home include FAHI, Kentucky Housing Corporation, and CORE. The annual Appalachian Regional Commission Conference is coming to Ashland this fall. Well, Governor Beshear and co-chair Gail Manchin made the announcement yesterday during a news conference. Well, this conference will bring several hundred people to the area, including governors from all 13 states that it serves. And conference attendees will come together and work to strengthen Appalachia through workforce development.
And ARC has that same goal. They have been investing in these communities for so long, and their mission is simple: innovate, partner, and invest to build community capacity and strengthen economic growth in Appalachia.
Ashland had to go through a long application process and was ultimately chosen for its location and availability of conference space and hotels. Ashland and the LKLP Career Center partnered together to host 2 job fairs yesterday. One was over in Leslie County and another was right here in Perry. Regional Supervisor Stephen Pennycuff says his team accepts people from all walks of life. He says it is more than a job fair, but a chance to give more to the community.
Help provide a reliable electrical service that hopefully will bring in additional businesses and things like that help not only grow the communities but grow our company as well.
Well, he says they have experienced job shortages within the company and says he hopes this helps to fill several positions.
A little bit soggy out there this morning. I'd actually sit down for a minute and our producer's like, hey, make sure you're awake in there. You only got a couple of stories to weather, and I was dozing, so I'm glad she reminded me. Let's take a look out there. A soggy start to the day makes for good sleeping weather unless you got to get moving. So again, just make sure you're taking care out there on the roads. Some spots of heavy rain across parts of the region this morning, so just give yourself plenty of time. Temperatures still dropping. 50 is becoming more few and far between, mostly in the eastern counties surrounded by a bunch of 40s. Looks like 44 right now is is the cold spot in Grundy. 54 just up the road in Prestonsburg on the other end of the scale. Now across the state and region, we are in the 40s pretty much everywhere. The only exceptions, Charleston, West Virginia, Hazard, and Paducah, also on the 50-degree range in Nashville at 52 this morning. So your day planner, slow increase. We've got basically a stationary front draped off to our south. It's going to keep our temperatures a little cooler. And then temperatures soar as we head into your Thursday and drying out just a little bit. The warm wind will help pick us back up a little bit there as well. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you so much. It is 6:11 when we come back here on Mountain News this morning. An investigation is underway as a group of 10 people face murder charges after the death of a man at a Virginia hospital. Stay with us.